Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new Smarter, Not Harder online event organized by Magnify, our AI-powered quality assurance platform developed here at Globant. Testing is everything, and even though we did test the platform, we encounter test some technical issues, and we apologize, and that's the reason we're to reschedule for today. So it's a perfect proof of how important testing it is for games alike, as well as any platform or any programs. I'm Fabien Rossini, and I'm your host today. I'm heading the Metaverse and Gaming Studio in the region EMEA for Globant. I'm taking this call from Copenhagen, my hometown. In this session, we are going to talk about how we can level up the game of testing by leveraging the potential of new technologies such as AI-based model to overcome the challenges of the testing of what is increasingly complex video games. Are you ready for this? If yes, let's go and start. Thank you. So here we go. And to start, I would like to introduce Tomás Borzi. He's our head of QA at Globant Game Studios. And in order to discover what Globant has been doing and what is Magnify experience for the gaming industry. Tomás?
Hi, Fabien. Thanks. Nice to have you on this first Smarter Not Harder event on this 2024. I'm happy to be part of this space for all the gaming community and all our testing professionals around the world, and to discuss, why ensuring the user experience is crucial for video games quality. I don't know you, but I, as player, as gamer, can recall previous and actual game releases that probably were not on the best conditions, to ensure that experience, that we all want to have when we are playing games. And also, to discuss together what has been our experience and how it looks to be in Globant and the gaming studios. Right, Fabien?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Thomas. At Globant, we had the great privilege of partnering with some of the best company in the world and working on some of the best games in the industry, leveraging our expertise in order to help this project and enhance the gaming experience for players all around the world. Some of the partners include King, Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Microsoft, and Sony, and many others. And our capabilities, superpowers, cover a wide variety of services, including co-development, live operations, engineering and tooling work, as well as the assurance, which is the focus of today.
Totally fine. Well, as you mentioned, the wide services and variety we have, I think it's important to highlight this in the light of today's topic, right? That quality assurance is a vital component on the game development lifecycle, and even more as how more complex the game are being, and how tools like Magnify or other AI power can help us, having QA and having testing and validations on game development lifecycle is crucial to ensure this gaming experience that the publishers and the studios wants to share with the players. And this experience and the immersion that the gamers are looking for sure is key. And having issues, I know, crashes, graphic errors, inconsistencies on the IP or on the art or on the functionalities and the features that the player are having, that for sure are going to disrupt that engagement that we are having. And also for sure that is going to impact on having negative feedback, negative critics, negative reviews, because the idea is to, for us as quality or validators and testers, is to elevate that quality on the games and to try to ensure that experience and to safeguard what the players are going to look. Yes, that enjoyment and that loyalty to the game, to the IP, to the different releases and the content that the publishers and the studio wants to share with the world. Yes, so it's also a way to protect the brand reputation. Yes, because once you release the game to the world, you need to ensure how your brand is going to look like, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I certainly can recall that I've been working in the gaming industry over 20, actually more than 20 years now, well over. And I've been working with Globant for the past 2 years, but I'm with Globant the past 8 years. But I've seen many game shifts for sure. And you mentioned also that, well, I can tell you about the critical path to get the game certified about first party and making sure that we deliver the best experience for users. And I've also seen when this is not done properly and the impact it has on the community. We can all recall some of the games I won't mention right now. But also it's both the impact on the community, but also it has a cost when you have to patch the game through and through overcome all the different technical problems or flaws.
Yeah, totally. And also it's for sure it's going to be more complex, more cost, more time consuming, not only to identify, but also to fix those issues once the game is going to be released. When you have the time to tackle and work and build a quality game since the beginning, since the first idea or the imagination of the game concept, the features, the design and the development way. Yeah. And to talk more about this, I think it's time to move to the most interesting part of this session and to talk with the most interesting person on this, I think. So let's go to our learn and try section.
Well, hi everyone. Pretty well.
Yeah, for this, I would like to introduce Leo Pace, our head of technology at Magnify and quality engineering technical director here at Globant. Welcome, Leo. It's a pleasure for me to have you with us today and share another Best Smarter, Not Harder event together.
Okay, well, thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone, and greetings, everyone. Thank you for being here again. Well, today the idea is to provide a breakdown of the essential game testing areas, the different game testing areas, and the challenges faced by the testers and quality engineers in this ever-evolving landscape of the video game industry. Mainly the focus on how AI, artificial intelligence, can help us to boost our testing strategy and how to define better testing strategies, taking advantage of these kind of technologies. As you know, the video games have evolved significantly, becoming increasingly complex with lifelike graphic and integrates mechanics. So this complexity presents challenges not only for developers but also for testers who must ensure that the games, as you mentioned before, meet the highest standards of quality and performance. Well, with each of new release, producers and developers introduce groundbreaking features and technologies, and of course requiring the tester to stay updated and adapt their testing strategies and testing methodologies accordingly. So, but on the other hand, of course, during the last year, artificial intelligence has changed all the aspects of our life. And of course, these technologies can help us to automate many aspects of the process. This is because, as you mentioned, AI-powered tool can analyze data, images, identify patterns, analyze user behavior, and detect issues more quickly and accurately than traditional methods. Right. So this presentation aims to serve as an introduction to how the artificial intelligence can complement various aspects in our testing strategy for video games, right? So, having said this, I think that it's a good idea to start mentioning the different kind of machine learning models and algorithms and strategies that we have. It's not supposed to be a session about machine learning itself, but it's useful to discuss the various types of machine learning. While we won't delve into each type in detail, so this classification will provide a general understanding of the context for our presentation. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, basically we are referring to the integration of algorithms, data, and machine learning techniques into our system and processes, right? The idea is to enable them to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence or intervention. So let's start talking about different kinds of machine learning. We can start with the supervised learning. Maybe this terminology sounds familiar with you, or maybe not, but don't worry about that. So during this presentation, we are going to provide examples. But the first kind of machine learning that we have is what we call supervised learning. This implies learning for labeled data to make prediction or classifications. For instance, I don't know if you know the example of teaching a model to recognize handwriting digits by providing it with image of digit labeled with their corresponding numbers. What else? Or maybe image classification, but providing to the model the different name of the classes. So then when the model sees a new image that weren't previously trained, so the model can define to which class it belongs. So this is the first kind of machine learning. Then we have unsupervised learning. This is the second one. So basically the unsupervised learning works by discovering patterns and structures in unlabeled data. For instance, analyzing customer purchases data to identify different segments or groups based on the buying behavior without any predefined category. Unsupervised learning tries to find similarities, the patterns of similarities in the data, and then classifying it accordingly. And the third one that we have, maybe the most important for gaming, so we are going to tell you why, is what we call reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning that learns through the interaction with an environment to maximize what we call rewards. I don't know if it sounds familiar with rewards, the term rewards in gaming. No, this method is important in game testing because it allows testers to assess how effective the game's AI responds to challenges and provides insight into enhancing the overall gaming experience. For instance, while training a robot to navigate a map by rewarding it or finding the correct path and penalizing it for taking wrong turns, right? So this is a very basic example of reinforcement learning. By observing how the robot learns to navigate obstacles, for instance, and optimize its path, the game testers can refine the game's artificial intelligence to provide challenging yet rewarding experience for the players, right? So in essence, this approach serves as a valuable tool for evaluating and improving the quality of the game's AI and the gameplay mechanics, right? So during this presentation, we are going to show different examples about different kinds of machine learning and how these approaches can help us to redefine our testing strategy by adding some kind of artificial intelligence as a part of this, right? Okay, so, well, not that we have an idea about the different kinds of machine learning that currently exist, I want to clarify that we have other type of machine learning, but we are going to focus on the most common ones for this purpose. So the idea is to delve into the essential stage of the game testing. Each of these stage plays a pivotal role in ensuring the quality and the performance of the video games. Through each of these stages, we'll see how the artificial intelligence is reshaping the traditional testing methods, offering innovative solutions to streamline processes and enhance the overall game quality, as we mentioned before. So let's start with play testing. So maybe the most common practice or the task that we will start when we need to test a game, what we call play testing, right? So play testing involves the evaluation of a game by playing it to identify bugs. That's it. Not only bugs, but also glitches and overall the gameplay experience. Well, how can the artificial intelligence assist this play testing? Well, the AI can assist game quality analyst by automating the gameplay testing. Remember that we mentioned in the definition of the reinforcement learning, and to identify patterns in playing behaviors and predicting potential issues. Right? So we are going to provide examples about it. The second one, so I hope these different areas sound familiar with you, but usually maybe we can have other specialization in game testing, but we think that these are the most common ones, right? But the second one is usability testing. Usability testing is really important because it focuses on the on assessing how easy and intuitive is for the players to interact with our games. So artificial intelligence can help by analyzing playing interactions, providing insight into user experience, and suggestions of improvements and enhance usability. It's not the only way in which we can apply artificial intelligence, but this is one of the possible scenarios. Then our headache, this compatibility testing, right? And then compatibility testing basically ensures the stability and performance of the game across different platforms, devices, and configurations. AI can add quality analysis by simulating various environments, detecting compatibility issues, and recommending optimizations for better cross-platforms performance. I don't know, Tomás, is this category sound familiar with you? But I bet that you already faced this type of testing in the past, right?
Yeah, in the past, in the present, and probably
in the future
too. Yeah. Well, as you mentioned, Leo, for sure, there are a lot of other categories, but we think for this meeting and this presentation to have these ones that are probably the most, I don't know if important, but the ones that more headaches for sure to game testing to have.
Totally. Yeah. These are not the only ones. So we have also localization testing. Localization testing involves adapting the game to different languages. It's important to mention that when we talk about localization, it's not only the translation. So we are not testing just the translation from one language to another. So we are trying to validate if the localization of the game makes sense in other cultures, right? It's not just about translations. So artificial intelligence in this field can assist by not only
sorry for this inconvenience. I always say that once a tester, always a tester, and that the bugs follow us even if we don't want it. So, sorry for this interruption on our event. And Leo, go ahead, please again.
Okay, well, thank you, and sorry, audience, again. So let's have a quick summary of what we're talking about. we were starting with the different type of machine learning. This will be really useful when we want to present different approaches for game testing using this kind of technologies. And then we have a breakdown of the different areas of expertise in game testing. We talk about play testing, usability, compatibility, localization, compliance, and accessibility. We provide different examples about how we can use machine learning in order to improve our testing strategy in these different areas. And now we are going to go more in details about the play testing, right? So, well, again, so remember when we talk about reinforcement learning, so reinforcement learning, is a type of machine learning where we mentioned that is where an agent learns to make decisions. These decisions are made by interacting with an environment. That is the second important concept in reinforcement learning, to achieve a specific goal. So if you think on this basic concept, you can think on any game. A player to make that is making some kind of decisions in order to be rewarded. So that's, in a nutshell, the purpose of any game. So in playtesting, as we mentioned, reinforcement learning can be used to create AI-driven actions that learns from the different gameplay experiences. So in this particular example, so the AI agent explores different actions within the game environment and receives rewards or penalties based on its performance. So through repeat interactions, the artificial intelligence agent learns which actions lead to a desirable outcome, such as completing levels or achieving objectives, and adjust its behavior accordingly. So reinforcement learning can be applied in playtesting to automate, of course, finding bugs, glitches, the gameplay itself, and also training artificial intelligence agents to mimic the human testers' behaviors and responses. So this is a very basic example. Maybe it sounds familiar with you. So I don't know if you remember this game, the moon lander. Let's explore how reinforcement learning can be applied to automate video game testing using a straightforward example that can be scaled to, of course, to a more complex games. We'll consider a classic game scenario. We are landing just on kind of spacecraft on the moon. By breaking down this process that we mentioned before of training an artificial intelligence agent to navigate the challenges of the landing, we can understand the fundamental principles of reinforcement learning applying in game testing. So this example serves as a foundational framework that can be expanded and adapted to test a wide range of video game environments, for simple arcade games to sophisticated simulations. So let's see this basic example step by step. So first, we mentioned that we need to define the environment. So in this example, the Moonlander game environment includes the moon surface, the gravity, fuel consumption, and the spacecraft controls. We are designing actions for the AI agent. Could include adjusting the thrust, rotating the spacecraft, or deploying the landing gear. One important part is to set up rewards and the penalties. Rewards can be given for safe landing, and penalties, of course, for crashes or excessive fuel usage. We need, of course, to select the reinforcement learning algorithm, then train the agent. So train the agent by simulating multiple landings attempts, allowing it to learn from success and failures. Then, of course, in every model, we can fine-tune the parameters, evaluate the performance, and finally iterate and improve. And then we can add this machine learning model with all the rules that learn from previous experience into the testing pipeline. So when we integrate the trained artificial intelligence agent into the game testing pipeline, we can automate the game, and we can use it as a good example of an autonomous agent that is training for performing an action. But it's not only just performing an action. This is an example of a game that you, of course, already know. So we can train a model to navigate the street, for instance, but also we can use computer vision to identify objects. In this example, we demonstrate how combining reinforcement learning with computer vision, specifically for object detection algorithms, we can automate the identification of specific assets during the play testing, right? So here we are using YOLO. I recommend you to search about it. It's a computer vision model, especially training for object detection. And as you can see, we can combine different kinds of machine learning during our play testing, right? So we are using reinforcement learning to autonomous trade the car, and then we are combining this with computer vision to make sure that all the assets were deployed for this scenario. It's not the idea of this event to show the code. Of course, we are planning to have more events and show how this can be implemented. But as you can see, we are using computer vision from real life because the YOLO models are being trained with common data set with common objects. But also you can train your model with your specific data sets if you are interacting to a game with specific assets. So it's an interesting combination. Remember that other important aspect of the game testing strategy is usability. So let's talk about how AI tackles the usability challenges and taps into natural language programming algorithms for the usability testing. So usability testing is of course not a walk in the park, especially when you are dealing with loads of user data, feedback, behavior patterns, you name it. So AI dive into this data, making sense of all its pinpointing areas for improvement. But here is the problem with usability testing. Different users expresses themselves in different ways. And of course, it makes a challenge to interpret their sentiments and preferences accurately. So that's where the AI appears to save the days. How does it work? Well, one approach is to implement artificial intelligence algorithms to analyze the user interactions and feedback, digging deep to uncover usability issues and patterns and shape the user experience. And of course, let's not forget about natural language processing, right? So this is an example about usability, how we can use NLP to receive feedback from the users and then validate using artificial intelligence the usability of our game. And we mentioned before, natural language processing algorithms dive into textual data from maybe user reviews, surveys, social media. They can extract the sentiment, identifying key topics and understanding the user preferences. So, of course, if you want to do this manually, like in the past, it's really time-consuming and not accurate, but artificial intelligence speeds the thing up. It accelerates usability analysis, allowing for quick tweaks and improvement to keep the users happy. Plus, it is scalable, handle tons of user data without breaking a suite, and let's not forget about the accuracy because the NLP algorithms are masters at sentiment analysis and topic extraction. So this is one particular example of how we can take advantage of natural language processing to extract different kinds of data from forums, comments, reviews, etc., and then have an idea about what the user is perceiving from the play testing or from the experience of playing our game, right? Here we have a second type of machine learning, that is NLP. NLP, all the people is talking about natural language processing with the GPT models. So GPT is not only it's not the only implementation of natural language processing models, but believe me, that is a really powerful technology that can help us in the testing a lot. So we need to move a little bit faster because of the interruption. Sorry, but we will have. I want to keep a time for questions and answers. So I will try to speed the things up. So let's talk about compatibility testing, right? So let's dive into how artificial intelligence is reshaping the landscape of compatibility testing in the gaming industry. So the testing games across different platforms like PCs, Xbox, PlayStation, and mobile can be told because each of one has its own unique challenges. For instance, making sure a game runs smoothly on PC might not guarantee the same on a console or a mobile device, right? So, but with the help of artificial intelligence, we can make this process a lot easier. AI-powered virtual environments, for instance, act like real platforms, automating tests and saving us a lot of time. Just imagine being able to test a game on all these platforms at once without needing to physically on every single device. That is a problem that we have when we need to perform not only cross-pros testing, but also cross-platform testing. So we can emulate different scenarios using artificial intelligence, and we can also predict the behavior of the different configurations on the environment based on previous data, right? So the artificial intelligence algorithms are smart enough to quickly spot common issues like problems with drivers or graphic settings before they become big-headed, right? This is an example of how we can use artificial intelligence. So with AI handle compatibility testing, we can get games out of the door faster without sacrificing quality. So that's the main purpose. It's like having a team of experts working around the clock to make sure everything runs smoothly on every platform. Let's move to the next one, that is localization testing. Localization testing is really special because most of the games are localized and translated to different languages, as we mentioned before. But also it's important because sometimes when we translate a game, so we break something in the graphic user interface, right? So that's the reason why it's not just localization testing, it's also the user experience. So believe me that artificial intelligence is revolution in the realm of localization testing in the gaming industry. Localization basically ensures the games are well adapted for different regions and languages. For example, what works in English might not have the same impact in Japanese or French. But with the assistance of artificial intelligence, localization testing becomes much more easy and scalable. AI-driven tools can analyze language nuances and cultural sensitiveness, automating much of the testing process and saving considerable time and effort. Because, as we mentioned before, when we localize a game, it's not just translations. It's not just about translate to one language to another. It's right that the new localization makes sense under the culture of that specific region, right? So here we have an example, again, a very basic example about how natural language processing models can help us localization testing. In the same way that we mentioned before, that we can use computer vision together with reinforcement learning to identify objects, we can use, maybe this is just an example, but very common techniques like OCR combined with natural language processing, we can identify different kind of texts in the game when we are playing and identify if the text is being translated accordingly. Right? It's just an example about how we can use this bounding boxes with the name of the language, and we can automate the process of detecting the translation. When we talk about translation, so let me show you the different aspects that we are validating in localization. First, the linguistic consistency checks, right? Tools like IBM Watson Natural Language Understanding, Google Natural Language API, they analyze the translated text across various game components to guarantee that the linguistic consistency it's okay. We also need to validate the contextual adaptation assessment, for instance, using natural language processing algorithms like maybe you hear about BERT, of course you hear about GPT, to validate that the localized content across different languages and cultures. For example, these algorithms can detect nuances in jokes for instance, or idiomatic expressions, ensuring they retain their sense of humor, of meaning after the translation. Right? What I'm saying is more than a translation. It's a semantic testing, not a syntactic one. And then, as we mentioned, the cultural sensitivity evaluation using LMP technologies such as sentiment analysis and name entity recognitions, platforms like Amazon Comprehend or Microsoft Text Analytics. They search in the localized context for cultural sensitivity. So this is just different examples of what we can rely on LMP to perform the localization testing. That is not just translation, as we mentioned before. Okay, we talk about compliance at the beginning. So let's give you an example. So compliance testing supposes significant challenges due to the complexity of the regulatory landscape and evolving standards, right? Addressing these challenges requires innovative approaches and, of course, empowered by artificial intelligence. One potential approach involves leveraging computer vision. Here we talk about reinforcement learning, then NLP, and now we are talking about computer vision. Why? Because the computer vision algorithms are really useful for content analysis. These algorithms analyze the game content, identify elements that may violate compliance regulations. By using automated system powered by artificial intelligence, the developer can streamline the compliance checks, flagging any potential violation for further review. The potential of artificial intelligence and in particular computer vision in testing is substantial. So AI systems can provide continuous monitoring of the game content for compliance, ensuring adherence to the regulatory standards, right? In this example, for instance, we are looking for different logos, the position. We are using the tool Magnified, that is developed by Globant, as Fabien mentioned at the beginning of this meeting. So here you can see an example about how computer vision can help us to identify that all the aspects related to regulatory standards are working as expected. So we can think on first a bot that can navigate a gameplay. Then we can take a screenshot from that gameplay, and then we can compare the screenshot specifically in the menus. We can validate the screenshot with predefined assets, for instance, from Figma or any other tool. So in this example, we are looking for a specific laws and regulatory compliance. We can validate the relative position between the elements, because the regulation also says, okay, this element should be at the right or the left of the screen, up, down, whatever. So we can use different computer vision based tools in order to validate the exact position of the element. So we can search for a specific element, so we can validate the accuracy of specific logos in our game. So the resolution, for instance. And also we can compare images. Maybe it sounds basic when we compare image, but believe me that if you are going to release a game into production, if you are missing a logo or you are missing any regulatory compliance, it's really a headache that can delay the going live. So this is why it's important to use automated tools in order to validate all these regulatory aspects. Well, as we mentioned, but not least, so accessibility testing. Accessibility testing is really important and can challenge it due to the need of their diverse user needs and comply. This is important and comply with accessibility guidelines. So fortunately, the artificial intelligence offers a solution to address this kind of challenges. So we can use artificial intelligence on the analysis of the interfaces. The artificial intelligence algorithms can analyze the game interface and interaction to identify potential accessibility barriers for users with some kind of disabilities. It also can be used for user behavior modeling the artificial intelligence can model the user behavior to, as we mentioned before, to simulate interaction from the perspective of user with different accessibility needs, and helping, of course, to pinpoint area for improvement. And also as well, personalized recommendation, AI driven tools can offer solution. We can automate the process to analyze a game and see if it's according to the regulatory standards. In this example, we are using, because now I'm seeing this picture, I don't know if it's self-explanatory, but in this example, we are using an AI-powered tool that goes through the game's user interface, automatically identify an element that failed to meet accessibility standards, like missing alt texts in the interface. So we can easily identify this using artificial intelligence. I think that we are almost on time, so sorry, we needed to be quicker than expected because of the interruption that we had. I hope that we can have more events like this in order to go more in details about each of this suggestion or implementation. It's just one approach. Of course, we can mix everything in one testing strategy. We can take only computer vision. We can work only with natural language processing. We can train our models using reinforcement learning. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. So when you, turn on your phone, you will see that all the pictures classify according to this, if it's a selfie or not, or can identify different patterns. So automated assistant, chatbots, playlist recommendation, etc. So artificial intelligence today is everywhere. And of course, can be part and must be part of our testing strategy. So fortunately, we have a lot of tools that can help us as a testers to incorporate these kind of technologies to our testing strategy and make our life as a quality engineers easier. So that's it from the technical perspective. So guys, thank you so much. We are open to questions that you may have.
Yeah, now it's time to review the questions from the audience. I already saw some over there. So let's go to our Q&A section.
Okay, here we are. Okay, we have the first question. Let me see. Sorry. Well, I'm doing manual testing on a game, but decide that applying magnified tools will be a good idea. What should my first step be? How we can to approach this idea to our clients? Well, I think that's a good one. Actually, the different tools, in particular Magnify, are designed to be really easy to implement. There are tools like plug and play. We don't want the quality engineers to deal with the implementation of artificial intelligence, right? So tools like Magnify are designed as a client-server architecture. So the only thing that you need to do is to call the models. If you want to use a computer vision models, so you can do that. So if you can call an API from your automation framework, you can start doing this. From the manual testing perspective, also, you can use our what we call our assistant that can guide you through the process of creating test cases based on technical documentation or images, etc. But usually we are looking for tools that they are really easy to implement, because I don't want to say that we don't want to waste our time coding the machine learning models, but the machine learning models are there. So we need to simplify the process to access to this kind of technologies. So, and it can be, of course, useful to manual tester and also people working with automation, right?
Yeah. Also, I'm seeing other question over there regarding the localization part, that if in addition of text can be potential to use language for audio and what happens on the screen. I think that is also very good use and potential to validate not only the narrative or the audio the game has, to compare it with the text that appears, because probably we have the subtitles on that game, so we can validate with AI what is being said and what is being written, and also probably to validate the behavior. Yes, because probably the audio is expressing a narrative, the text is expressing one moment, and the character or the NPC's face is totally different on the emotions that has to express regarding the audio the text. So I think that also is a very good potential to show, yes, that the experience and the immersive experience we got to share with the players.
Yes, totally, Thomas. And I recommend you to use, as far as I remember, is Whisper. Whisper is a model that can transform audio to text. And I'm thinking a lot voice, but suppose that you can extract the audio from a game and then compare with the subtitles. So you are not only validating that the audio matches with the subtitles, but also the synchronicity, for instance. So yes, I think that this kind of models for audio validations are really, really important in gaming. So maybe we could add it to this presentation, but maybe for the next one we can be more we can have a more detailed overview about this. But of course, it's a really good and interesting approach.
I want to answer two in one questions. One is, can these tools be used on non-gaming projects? And yes, for sure, there is a lot of examples and cases and clients that are not from the gaming world using Magnify and their potentials. And the other question is, I want to enter in this type of world testing. What type of courses could I take? For sure, Magnify is going to leverage and support the automation framework or the tools that you have. So I encourage you to start learning a language and start automating with a script, a tool, or something, and then leverage it with Magnify the different cases that you want to do. But for sure, the first step is to start automating something. Yes, even if it is a little script that can help you on your daily basis, then you can boost Magnify, as Leonardo mentioned, via an API call or using the front-end interface for sure. But probably if you are a not technical person, you can use the front-end application. But the most uses are going to be through the APIs or the libraries that can be integrated on the IDE. So I think that's pretty much, because we are running kind of out of time. Thanks a lot, Leo. Fabien, what's yours?
Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, and one more thing, actually, if you are attending any of you GDC, I will be attending with different people. So give us a shout, and don't be shy. We have a great office just opposite of Moscone Convention Center in San Francisco, Elwood Street, and you're more than welcome to come and grab coffee and talk more about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.